Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching Hustlers, starring Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez. Now, this film is based off a 2015 magazine article that detailed accounts of strip club employees who were embezzling various customers in the Wall Street, especially following the 2008 Wall Street crash. And this film happens to turn that article into a rather entertaining heist film full of several hilarious moments, several dramatic moments, and several characters you'll definitely love. I wouldn't exactly call it the modern day Goodfellas, but it is a solid crime film all the same. So the film stars Constance Wu as Destiny, a woman who was working at a strip club in order to get money for her grandmother and eventually for her daughter after she gets into a relationship. She ends up getting some advice from Ramona Vega, played by Jennifer Lopez, on how to get money quickly when she's the new girl. But when the Wall Street crash happens, and when fewer people start going to the clubs, and when it's very hard to get money when you're in that occupation, Ramona, Destiny, and a few of the other girls find out a way to drug various Wall Street guys to embezzle from them in order to get money for themselves, considering that they believe the Wall Street guys are parading around with stolen money anyways. Might as well steal it for ourselves. And that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. Now, the thing is, when it comes to this type of film, you've got to keep it... There's a thin line between empowering your audience and exploiting your characters. And it's a line that this movie happens to stay on throughout. While there certainly is a lot of fan service throughout the film, it's a strip club movie, you kind of have to have it, the actual characters themselves are fleshed out well enough to the point where they feel like real people who have to just do a lot of dangerous stuff in order to stay financially stable. Destiny especially makes for a great protagonist. She's often a good audience POV character, she has good motivations, and her relationship with Ramona is probably the strongest of the film. Ramona herself is the strongest character of the film. Not only does Jennifer Lopez put on a career best performance, but every single scene from her opening scene to her closing monologue lets you know that Jennifer Lopez was 100% invested in this role, and she owns practically every scene she's in. Which is good considering a lot of the film's runtime is focused on embezzling from these Wall Street guys. Now, while it can become repetitive, the eclectic soundtrack and the great performances do keep you interested throughout. And honestly, I felt that even though it does lean heavily on the comedy, there's enough drama throughout in order to keep the story focused. It doesn't feel like the jokes are just there to pad out the runtime. It feels like they're there because they come from a natural consequence of these scenarios. The story itself seems a bit ridiculous. Even the police officers eventually go into the crime think so. So honestly, it feels like the comedy is there to not only get us in on the joke, but also to get us into these characters' mindsets. The direction is solid with a lot of good shots, some tracking shots, and a good sense of pacing. Even though the film is 1 hour and 50 minutes long, it doesn't feel like any part is rushed. It feels like most of the sections that you'd expect from a heist film, from the humble beginnings to rising up to where it all goes down, feels very natural. And the framing device they have in the film definitely feels like a consequence of it being a magazine article. So, while Hustlers is definitely a film you should not take your kids to, if the premise wasn't obvious enough, it definitely is an R-rated heist film that you should definitely watch if you're into that sort of thing, and if you want to see the true story of how these women got their money and how they went about their lives. I don't know how much of it is entirely accurate, but it made for an entertaining film all the same. That's why I'll give Hustlers an 8 out of 10. See you next time.